friends, welcome to my new video here on the YouTube about my situation in life and some other things. So I have been waiting a few months now to tell about what happens. But you know, with cancer it's almost like every day you wake up and you are like, I'm not dead yet, I feel quite okay. So let's start from the beginning. So it's for me a reminder, and those of you who don't know my story, also a reminder. So 4 years ago, the doctors discovered kidney cancer in me, and it was already metastasized to my lungs. So the kidney was removed, but they couldn't do anything with lungs because there were a few tumors already there. So I started to live on, and after first shock, I tried to do my best in life. And in fact, it all became more difficult like 1.5 years ago, when a big tumor was found in my head here behind. It was 3 centimeters, and also a small tumor here, 8 millimeters. So it was in end of December. And after 2 weeks in January, I already was in a hospital, and they made an operation from behind here, and they removed the big tumor. And after few weeks, I got the radiation therapy, also that area, and also in the small tumor 3 times. And that was very difficult time, because I have my partner Minna in Finland, and I couldn't see her for 5 months. I couldn't fly, and we didn't know how it will be with this, my brains, because I still had the tumors in my lungs. So it was like on 2 fronts happening. But life went on, and I managed. And a year ago, in July, I had this scan about my lungs, and the tumor was really starting to grow. It was, that time the biggest one was 2.5 centimeters. There were 11 tumors. So I started to get the immune therapy. And in the end of the year, so in December, the scan let us see that the tumor had grown double size. The biggest tumor was already 5 centimeters, and all the other tumors, 11 of them, already had grown. So my doctor said to me, that when I asked, how long do I live? He said, maximum 1 year. So in July now, I would have been dead at last. So we started to experiment with the other pills, and that helped. I get every day medicine, and in April the biggest tumor was 50% smaller, and so were the other ones also. So the chance was like 40% that it would work, the medicine. Now at the same time I started to get gray, and as you can see, I'm all gray now, but I'm still alive. And I started to lose also weight, because the medicine stops the oxygen to the tumor, and in that way it makes it smaller. It doesn't get so much food, but it also breaks something, I guess, in the body. So I have a lot of how you say, pain in my feet. So I have to put a lot of cream in there and take care. So, but you know, these are small things, because really big problems haven't occurred yet. So, and the last MRI scan when was it? In May, June, showed that my head is still free from cancer. Because very often, in these cases, this cancer comes back. It comes back to the head. So now, in a way, I'm quite a long time free from cancer. So from now on, approximately after 6 weeks, there will be a new MRI scan of my head, and also about my lungs. Where shall we go now? So I survived this situation with the cancer in my head, because it was really very difficult situation. You know, the fluids from the head, they go to the center of the back. Normally there's a small channel, but the cancer was pushing it, it was closing it. So there were time to remove the cancer. So even they say that the cancer doesn't kill you, but it helps you to die, because in a way it goes somewhere in the organs, especially in the organs like the liver or the kidney, and the function of this organ is no more working as much as it should. Or in the brains, it pushes the brains, it's getting bigger and bigger, or in the lungs, they take space, the cancer, and the lungs don't have so much machinery to breathe. So in that way, it's a killer in a way. Not as a sin, but like, in a way, it creates a lot of disturbing situations where you can really die. But I'm still here, and that's what I wanted to share this message, because I get the requests from friends that please give us some information in English. So I hope this information satisfies you, and I hope that I tell you the right things. So I have been in this last months quite a lot in Finland by my dear partner Minna, and when I was thinking, like, what about would I talk, like just about the cancer, this and that, how difficult it is, or whatever. You know, friends, it's so boring to hear somebody talking only about the difficulties in life, because we all have difficulties. Oh, fuck. Okay, I just saw that I didn't have a external microphone on, so I hope I can use this material that already recorded. But let's go on. So when you are ill, and there's a limited time you might be living, it's not easy to stay positive and like in my case now, I'm coming to the 4th year with cancer, and about 85% of people in situation like mine have already died. So it's difficult to stay positive, to wake up in the morning and say, well, what shall I do today? Especially if you are alone, to find the reason to live. And I'm fortunate one to have a relationship, and I'm very thankful to my beloved partner that she has a patience with me, to how you say, to understand, to count to 3 or 5 or 10. But I also find myself that I'm not complaining about so many things than in the past, because there is no time to complain or say that, oh, I don't like this, or I don't like this person, or whatever. Because life is here and now. It's always here and now, but when we are healthy, we are planning the future, we are planning to do something. We remember the past, what always happened. In this moment, we are so busy in our minds. So in fact, we are not so much in this moment when we are healthy. We are running all the time somewhere behind our dreams and disappointments. So I am thankful. That's what I feel. I'm thankful to my partner. I'm thankful to my family, to my children, to my friends, and to my doctors who have helped me to survive, who do their work, but who dedicate their attention to their work. So I feel there is so much also love in their work. They are professionals, and at the same time they care. So I'm happy to be able to say this. And I wish that if you ever happen to be in this kind of situation, that you also can have people who support you, because it's very important. But at the same time here I would like to say that even when we have the sickness, it's that we also support others, so that we don't go into this cocoon of self-pityness, that poor me, how this happened. So I like to remind myself, some moments I fall into this serious thoughts, and I just let myself go there for a while, for a moment, because trying to be happy, you are not happy. So go down in the emotion, cry, and then rise again like a phoenix bird from the ashes. And I guess there are many different experiences, people with cancer. Everyone has his or her own experience, and somewhere we can identify with this person or that person, and it all depends how we feel about the connection between ourselves and the person who is telling their story. So this making the videos has no financial meaning for me, because I don't earn anything from the YouTube. I don't have so much subscribers, and it's okay. I mean, it's free. Whoever wants to see my videos has a patience to look. Be my guest. And one day I will be gone, and this channel stays. So in that way, it feels that there is a face. It's not only a picture of you, but there is a living picture that is talking and telling his or her story. And I'm very happy to be living in this era, that we have this possibility of the videos to create our own stories. So I encouraged everybody to start to make their own channel, even to your family, to your children, or to your friends, or to yourself. It's nice to look like after 10 years, where did it all started? So for me, it's also like nice to see that where this all started. Like 4 years ago, it was turning point in my life when the cancer was discovered, and it's like life before and after. Now so many years has been going on, and I'm alive still. Even I'm a bit weaker, smaller, grey, but I'm still here. And I see that the past me is in me, but this experience has been a really deep meditation, as I can say. It really changes you. And I hope that people who are looking videos like mine, who have problems in life, being happy, not have a meaning for living, I would like to say that there is no meaning in life except feeling love. Feeling love includes that you can be very, very sad. You can be very caring. You can be everything. And you accept all facets of yourself. Because that's the only meaning. Because one day we all will be dead. It might be that my death is sooner than yours. But I give it a chance that I might live long. Who knows? Small chance. So we will all die. And in the end, it counts. The only thing what counts is how much did I felt, and how much did I felt something positive. Because the world is full of hatred and sad things and bad things. So it only counts in the end. How will we be remembered? Do people remember us like loving people or people in hate? And I would be like to be remembered as a nice person. Well, sometimes difficult person to deal with, but okay, it's part of a nice person and loving person, because you have your own character, your own mind. You are not a follower. you walk your own path. And that's what I also would like to be remembered. I walked my own path. And I'm happy to meet people who also walk their own path, who are doing their thing in life, whatever it is. And I'm very happy that I have met many such people, and I'm now in relationship with one of them. And I have so many friends who also have their own character, who walk their path, and my family. So, my dear friends, it's going quite okay now. We are now in half August 2024, and it still is a bit summer. I came to Netherlands a couple of days ago for this checkup with my blood, and I'm going next week back to Finland to my love. So this is my life as it is now, and in October there will be MRI scan of my head and CT scan of my lungs. So now I don't know if the cancer in my lungs has been getting smaller or not, as it was like in April, a few months ago. My liver is doing now better than it did in the summer, 3 months ago. I get smaller portion of medicine. The downside of the medicine is that mostly it works sometime, and then its effect is getting less, and then the cancer gets its power back. Because that's the prognosis. So that means that like next year, then it comes 5 years old, if I'm still alive, I'm one of the 5% of people who are still alive. So there's a long way to go. I hope it will work out in such way. But I'm happy that I lived already so long, that I could experience these years. Resurrection. So that is certainly that. I would like to read you now a part of my book, translation in English that I made. I wrote the original book 5 years ago when I was not sick, and I translated in English 2 years ago. So it's my own translation with the help of automatic intelligence. So it's not perfect, but it's readable. And this is the English version, the Sex Oracle. It's bladzijde of Dutch. It's the page 320. This book is 400 pages. So the main character is now in Turku in Finland, where his mother lived, and he has been in the funeral of the mother. This is a real happening. That happened also in my life. I walk along the river that flows through the city. Turku is the living capital of its region. It's smaller than Helsinki, and the river Aura is its artery. I look at the buildings along the river. Some are 300 years old. My attention is drawn to a pink facade. a color you usually see in Italy, but less often in the north. Above the window, on the second floor, I see a text written in a rather old style. What exactly does it say? Omnia vincit amor, I read on the wall. I stand there in the glow of the evening sun as the crowd moves slowly passing me by. I'm not surprised, but more convinced of what I already considered. In other state of mind, I would have passed that building without even looking at it. Now my eyes see what I really want to experience. I want to experience love, and no more substitutes for it. I have come to an age where what others say or even judge me doesn't matter. Only the ones inexperienced in life judge each other, driven by their own fears and inhibitions. This is also the reason why I wrote in these pages with some words about my own mother, although at first I wanted to keep her out of my narrative. But how can we ignore the one we were born from? For myself, I no longer do anything but honor her here, on the riverbank of my mother's town, the person through whom I came into the world. I respect my father, who, like so many young men, was damaged by the horrors of war. I carried in my life the traumas I inherited from them, but also their hopes for a better life. Now that both are completely gone, I can finally see the me I created of myself. Love conquers all. That's a translation of this Omnia vincit amor. Love conquers all. It's not enough to write a thriller novel or a war movie plot because people need circus acts. The ancient Roman rulers knew the nature of the masses, and the same is still true of the modern people. Nothing changes under the stars. The world cannot be saved by saving humanity, as some claim. Many of us live in illusions in which we do not look at our true selves, our inner navel. The world will be saved the moment we are able to say to ourselves those words in Latin that I saw on the wall of the house by our river, and also sensed them. We the people. From that moment on, we are no longer in conflict with the outside world, but in a changing interaction with it. I have strayed far from the original topic, but I will allow it. Please do forgive me. Not every day brings before us the funeral prayers of our mothers. A country of birth was also the country, the cradle of my birth, and her death was the death of my inner mother. It will be some time before I have crossed the current of infernal stream. With this symbolic bridge in mind, I walk past the river in my mother's hometown and watch its grey waters glide slowly towards the opening sea. My mother's soul floats in the same way in my mind towards a larger space. She hasn't been able to think for years, and that's why I am standing on this bridge of hers, right now, thinking for her. My mother had Alzheimer. One page more. We stood in the same spot decades ago, both younger then and thirsting for life. Shared different dreams, and I remember that my mother's dream was to write a book, and it didn't matter to her what kind. She wanted to write because she loved to read, but ultimately she could only get short stories down on the paper. This limitation on her creativity was hard for her to accept, but my mother's stories were beautiful and sensitive. I told her this because I often read them with a smile on my face and at times with tears in my eyes. My mother wanted to know exactly what I actually thought of her poems. We had this connection, to be critical and also receptive. I urged her to continue, but apparently a brain-destroying disease had already struck her mind by then, and the idea never came up again. I inherited a lot from her. My laziness in writing apparently comes from my father, who did not write much. I am very sorry to both of my parents that I waited so long before I started, because neither of them will read these sentences. I had to collect life so that I could ultimately experience it, gather a real story from it, not just a fiction. I would have liked them both to have read this book, but I know there are stories within these pages that would make even a stranger blush. But for some of those outrageous people, we can agree that those wild stories are entirely fiction. This is probably a good solution. Where is my mother now? She is not here anywhere. Just a small pile of ashes left, and her thoughts are now only of her children. I think of this through spinning forward as I stand on the bridge, while the river flows beneath me. What is a human being? Who are we really? We are a bunch of interconnected thoughts that change over the lifespan of our bodies. We are different possibilities and functions that disappear completely at the moment of our death. When I die, the last connection with my mother is lost. The cycle of life and death applies to all of us without exception. In the end, we are nothing but nothingness. Yet this future truth about ourselves we are unable to perceive. Here is the illusion of life in a nutshell. By the time we really start asking ourselves why we exist, that question is already timely as death looms on the horizon, because perhaps the morning sunrise will be our last. The only spiritual question that is really worth asking, but which most of us realize too late, is, who am I? Who am I? That's a question we need to ask ourselves. And I'm amazingly happy to have met many wise people who have asked themselves who they are. And ultimately, I ask myself who I am. I have found thousands of answers during my life, but none of them is the answer. Who am I? The person I thought I was, the being I thought I was, is not. Is no more. It has disappeared in the ashes of the past. And I'm thankful to cancer because it's really a master teacher. It has taught me so much about life, about acceptance, about understanding yourself, about love, about compassion. And it's not in the end yet. To my last breath, I will be thanking life that I can live and I can experience what it is. But if you want to know what is life, I cannot tell you, because it's only individual. Each of us has to find the answer to the question, who am I? Who are you? So my answer is not yours, as your answer is not mine. In the end, it's useless to try to be wise, because no one of us knows what's in the end. Where does the world begin and where does all this end? We don't know. We are just one moment here on earth, and the next moment we are gone. And it goes on and on and on. The wheel of life leaves no one apart. The wheel of life includes death in it. It's a complete circle, death and life. Without the other, the circle is not complete. So in that way, my dear friends, I will end this video. I hope you are doing great. Live life. Let know something about you in comments. And if you're interested, check this book on Google. My hope for next year, because it's good to have hope, is that I will be alive this moment next year and I could start to write a book. But there is still time to go. So I will experience life now, do my thing, and we'll see. So, as in India they say, Namaste. I greet the Buddha in you, I greet the love in you, I greet the compassion in you, I greet you. We are all part of the same existence. Bye.